We had a producer. We might go down that.
Welcome to Wook Plus. I am Weekend Wook, joined by Kev. Joined by the great Went and T. What's up, guys? Space T.
We're like Daft Punk. I think Kevin and I are like generic Daft Punk.
Yeah, Spirit of
Forgot how
Halloween,
hot
Daft
this
Punk.
thing was.
I know it's all fogged up inside.
I know. I was like, what's going on? Halloween.
Back from our moon cabin days.
Oh, Moon Cabin.
Oh.
Oh no, Heads in Space. We didn't have the helmets. All right.
You know what's
No,
funny
those
is
are
like
just
people
heads.
like Mike's grooving and half the audience doesn't even know what the helmets are from. Like they weren't around back in the day.
Probably for the best. How you guys
Probably.
doing, man? Hanging in there? You feeling
Hanging
the
in
pressure
there.
of the world on your head?
A week to go.
A little bit.
It's
I'm
a
very-
weird
I
thing,
am.
man. It's a very weird psychological experiment that the entire country is experiencing all at once. It's like a very odd fucking thing.
And it's and I tell you what, it's been like right now it's like 60 some degrees outside. It's like humid and there's this like heavy. It's like the atmosphere is just weighing down on everything. You know?
Yeah.
I know. Hey, I do want to tell Jason though. Sorry, man. We didn't even think about the Halloween theme song. You should have.
Yeah, you
shot
need
us
to
an-
mention that before.
Yeah, you should have
Hey,
just
what's
sent
up,
that
Dave?
to us probably about a day ago, so we could have had a producer hunt it down for us because I don't even know where it is. But we totally should have. We'll
Well,
definitely
no, that's
remember.
what happened. We got too big. We were just talking about in the green room how we used to like do a whole production for the specials with bits and like special
Halloween
theme music.
specials.
Now
Yeah.
we're like 10 minutes before the show. We're like, fuck, what are we going to talk about?
We could have, man. Yeah, we could have uploaded some of the Blair Wook project
right.
footage
Oh,
or
yeah.
something.
Yep.
I was thinking
The
about
end of
him.
that was great. The end of that, I mean, I think that's some of the best acting I've ever seen anyone ever do.
I'll say that we will definitely remember the Christmas song for Christmas though when we do, and maybe even Thanksgiving. We can break the holiday song out for that too if we do the Wooksgiving this year. But yeah,
We
sorry,
should
Jason.
Kev, we should tweet out or fucking post the Blair Wook thing tomorrow.
All right, yeah,
Yeah.
I'll dig it out.
I was actually thinking about him too. I think I'm over it. Like, I think we're good.
Oh,
Enough
good.
time has passed. I've come to peace with everything. It's like, you know what? Because you know what it is? How
because
fucked up
of
the
who's
rest
in
of the
it?
world is.
Right.
It makes that shit seem not
Right.
fucked up. You're like,
yeah.
wow, that was so juvenile and silly.
Right. Move on, buddy.
Hey,
Well,
I don't have
you
any
know-
more room for that. Hey,
We got, next month is, I mean, around this time is when you sent the original tweet out. I'm looking for people. And then about middle of November, you sent out a tweet, look for Wook Plus in January
yeah.
of 2020. We're coming up on 5 years. That shit's
Yeah,
crazy. That I
that might
responded
be
to a
it.
tweet to someone I didn't know, and 5 years later, we'd have 700 some videos under our belt.
Is it that many?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Almost.
Christ.
Yeah. It's like 730 or 50 or something like that.
I was
Pretty
hoping to hit
impressive.
777 at the end of the year, but that isn't going to happen unless we do a bunch
Well,
of minutes.
Do you think we can get 300 done by next year so we can get hit 1,000 in 2025?
That would be him.
Oh, yeah, easily.
Yeah. Okay.
You need some
I
mic
challenge
tape.
us.
Yes.
I mean, they won't be very high quality, but
Like shorts and just like
Well,
your little
every
with the
morning, just like a
microdoses.
selfie recording. Like, yep, getting ready for
maybe
work.
maybe before Taper's Choice hits the road, we'll have all of the last tour up.
Hey, I'm trying to get the last year's ball up by tomorrow. It's happening. Even if I have to stay
Yeah.
up all night tonight, we'll get that one up. Oh, by the way, hey Kev, thanks for the segue though. It's not on the set list, but let's go off list for a moment and just say, did everybody see the big tour announcement?
Did they announce it yet?
Yeah, they posted it today. It's pretty exciting. There's going to be, they didn't announce where in Brooklyn the show's going to be, but I can tell you the rumors are swirling that it's going to be a Brooklyn Bowl show. Shh.
Ooh.
Where?
Brooklyn Bowl.
Oh,
That's what I'm
nice.
hearing.
That's
I haven't
big
been.
for them, right?
Well,
Oh,
they're playing
huge.
Pearl Street in DC, which I probably can actually get somebody to drive me to.
I will, Gab. I'm gonna try and be there. I'm gonna try and do the East Coast run, and then they got the 2 California shows. Which, if anybody can get out here for the Troubadour show, that is going to be a
That's
magical
the
night
spot. Does the floor really move?
at the Trube.
Yeah.
Everything moves at the Trube. It's an old
I
building.
heard like when people get dancing, you can feel the floor like it springs under it or something.
The vibrations.
I think it's an old fucking building, man. It's
It's
called
a super old building. And yes, and then they're playing. Then they, after the tour in January, they got 2 shows in Colorado, which I will definitely be at because those are all my buddies are. So Boulder and Denver. So yeah, tickets go on sale Friday. Get your tickets. Let me know where you're going to be. That is 3rd on the list, Slav. It's going to be Tabor's Ball 1 and 2, or actually it's going to be 2 and 1. Night 2 first, then night 1, and then it'll be on the anniversary of Scribble, the acoustic show, and then right after that, Nectar's is ready to go. I just don't want to release it until the other one since we're in the holidays. So, yeah, it's
They're
coming.
doing Philly too, right?
They're doing Philly and DC. Yeah, 2 New Yorks. I think it's 5. I can't remember. I don't have it up in front of me, but yeah, it'll be. You got to do the Philly show, man. Like, got to.
Oh,
right?
definitely.
They're breaking up.
I think I earned that.
It's 4 East Coast shows, so it's on the 25th in Brooklyn, which shall be the Brooklyn Bowl. Shh. And then Kingston, New York, Philly, DC, and then they're back to LA for
Where are
the
they playing in
Troubadour.
Philly?
Couple Colorados, right?
It says Milk Boy.
Oh, that's a nice place. I saw Karina there.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, it's a smaller place, but it's fun. Really cool.
I'm sad they're not doing Kung Fu Necktie again. That place was
Oh,
dope.
Cool thing about Pearl Street Warehouse, they have a YouTube channel and
Mhm.
they stream every show. You
Oh,
can
very
like on
nice.
any night there's a show there, you can watch it from home.
Perfect. That's good to
So-
know because I've actually talked to them about trying to get some streams going and stuff. So, and I know they've got some things in the works with nugs and stuff on the down low. So we'll see what happens. But we're gonna try.
Nothing's on the down low when you talk to T.
Not much is on the down low with T.
Hey, I've been told to like throw rumors out there, so I'm throwing
Nice.
rumors out there. Nothing confirmed, but yes,
Are you
Kevin.
actually
And to your
just making
point,
shit up? Because that'd be really funny.
yeah. I mean, you never know. I could be just making it all.
I heard
up,
they're
but-
going to have a whole new batch of songs too.
We'll see about that. That I cannot confirm or deny. But I love hearing about those places, though. That's awesome because the Troubadour rules, and they're going to go back to the Ivy Room where they played with Jerry's Alligator a couple months ago in June, which was one of their only 2 shows this year. And then I hear the Velvet Elk Lounge. I've never been there in Boulder, but my buddy told me that place is right up their alley and dope. And then the Denver show at Cervantes. What is it?
Cervantes.
Yeah, the
Where's
other
the
side.
typo?
Super
Fuck.
fun. So
What's the typo?
I don't know.
Primus
And the
is
fact that I
spelled
don't
right.
know is making me
Halloween. Oh, is tear spelled wrong?
no.
All right. So, when I was in high school, I had a picture right by my door when I walked out of Phil.
Fare the well. That's what it is. It
Right?
should be. There's an E missing on the.
Oh, okay.
All right.
And I had a picture of Phil. So when I walked out of my room, I said, be like Phil. You want to go out there and be like Phil today. This is when I was in high school and the Grateful Dead existed, long before he became a warrior for causes and all. And I cried, man. My kid came in and saw me crying, and I was like, Phil died.
When
He
you were in
gave me
high
a
school or
hug.
when he died?
When he died. Just
Oh,
the
you
other-
jumped in
every-
your story. I wasn't
Every
ready.
day on his way out the door, he would cry when he looked at his
Right.
phone picture.
No. I looked at it and I was like, that's the guy you want to be like. That guy.
Be like
Yeah.
Phil.
I liked Phil, and it
Phil's
made
a good
me
guy.
very, very just. Now you guys have Tim, you saw Dead and Come. Did you ever get to see Phil? A Phil
Yeah, he
show?
saw fairly well.
I saw fairly well in
Oh,
Chicago,
right.
and
Right.
yeah,
I felt like Phil was the most adventurous out of what came out of the Remnants. I mean, Mickey when he did his drum thing, but that was stuff he did anyway. But like what Bobby did was always more in line with the way the Grateful Dead did stuff, where Phil kind of threw the playbook out the window with a lot of what
Yeah.
he did. And he brought on the best musicians in the scene.
I mean, I'm not a Deadhead expert like some people, like where I know every year and like all the shit, but from what I can tell from my like limited knowledge of it, is he seemed to have this insane music theory knowledge and would shift the bass tones and
College
invert.
degree.
Yeah, and like he would completely change the chord progressions and what Jerry and Bobby were doing by shifting the bass and the actually Bob, the bass player that I jam with Paul, like with you and stuff, he's in a dead cover band, like a pretty decent one, and that they play all through New York State. And he like, I don't know if you've ever met like a musician like that, like just fucking locks in on somebody, like obsessive, like knows every note of every show and everything, and
Not
like,
even just musicians, huh?
but like he always talks about how nobody jams and improvises like Phil. Like it's just an entirely different beast altogether. And obviously
I
he's a
feel
little partial, but
I feel guilty about making fun of his singing all those years.
why? It was not great.
He's not a good singer. It's fine.
He wasn't.
You know what's interesting though
Phenomenal
is
bass
like
player.
you always get the lists of like the top 100 guitar players, the top drummers, the top vocal singers. Have you like how often do you see a top bass player list? And who, like could you even do
Jack
like a
Bruce and yeah, I could probably.
Flea? I'd put Flea.
Right? The
Phil?
the guy from Mountain, Felix
Mhm.
Papa, whatever
I
his
feel like
name
Wook
was.
Plus
Papa
did an
Giorgio?
article
Yeah.
about the
Something like
best
that.
bass players. Or the best trios. I feel like
Now, where do you put Mike Gordon on a list like that? Is Mike Gordon like do you think people outside of Fish's world view Mike Gordon as an extraordinary bass player?
He's
I think-
a great bass player, but I don't think he's like he's not like parallel to where. All right, let me put it like this. I think Trey on the guitar list and John on the drummer list are both proportionally higher than where Mike falls on the bass list. And that's not a dig at Mike. I just feel like he's not quite as virtuoso as those two. And Paige, I don't know. I don't know piano players that well, so
Yeah. I mean,
Why do
I think
piano players rarely play together?
I don't know. Jack Bruce was number 6 on Rolling Stone's list, but Rolling Stones is notorious for
for
sucking
weird
at
shit.
this.
Where's like Les Claypool at on that list? And
Or Jocko.
Phil Lesh is
Pastorius
11. Jaco was 8, I think.
Right.
Oh,
Tony
McCartney.
Levin and Tony
McCart-
Levin
yeah.
and that Tony Levin
Paul.
King Crimson stuff. And then he played with Peter Gabriel all those years. I can't get enough of.
Oh
my
yeah, and John
Stab
Paul
and Stick
Jones.
guy.
That's
John Paul Jones.
fuck yeah. Yeah, there's
Right.
some good. There's some real good bass players. For
Yeah,
sure.
that's what I'm saying though. Bootsy, there you go. Exactly.
What about Peter Cetera? Is he on there?
Oh, I don't know, man. Lee is
He
22.
did some good bass on those early
22,
Chicago albums. He was good on those early Chicago albums.
Very?
And
Yeah.
then he started Just Between You
Yeah.
and Me or whatever, and that was April Wine, my fault.
It's funny though. Like again, it's just one of those kind of, I don't want to say overlooked positions, but it just doesn't usually get the love because also
Paul
Bass players-
McCartney.
bass players are a weird bunch. Not that that's a bad thing by any means, but to the point of like Phil, they're like kind of the more educated. Like they have I just feel like they're like the guys that know like music theory in the band and like have a little bit more.
Well, they have both, right? Because they can do
Sick.
the harmonies and melodics and the
Right.
theory with the tonal shifts, but they're also instrumental. Yeah, Wooten's awesome. They're also instrumental in the groove, right? In the rhythm section. And like, I don't know, man. There's a lot of crappy bass players,
Mhm,
but
mhm.
the ones that are good are really fucking good, right? Because there's a lot of guitar players or like bass players that played guitar and they couldn't cut it. So like they went down to bass, but they don't have rhythm, right? Or like the same like touch that like really good bass players, but a really good bass player is hard to come by, I feel like. Claypool is fucking 36 on this list. This list is
Wow.
crazy. This is man.
Where's Tina Weymouth at? Like, let's talk some women bass players because they seem to be taking over a little bit.
I don't have
here.
the list memorized. sir.
There's probably she probably is not
Kim
on
Gordon's
there.
39.
I would say exactly, Kev. Exactly. It probably is not on there.
Yeah.
Bob
You
Moore.
know, Les Claypool, we mentioned him, and apparently his boy Tim, the drummer, decided that he no longer had a passion for music and quit. I believe this is his 3rd time quitting the band.
Did you read that? It seems so dramatic. Like he was just like he was like, all right, guys, I'm done, and then like fucking nothing, radio silence, and apparently they like reached out to him several times and got nothing, and then he finally was just like, yeah, man, I don't have the passion for it. Like what? Like they had, it's not like they're like done, right? Like they have shit scheduled, like on the
Right.
books, ready to go, and he's just like, yeah, I'm done.
Eh,
Tina's 29. T.
nice. Out of the,
Wow.
what was it? The top 50 or 100?
50.
600.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Good to
Yeah.
see she's on there. She's the
Yeah.
only. There's got to be a couple other females on there, I would assume too. But
Yeah. I'm sure there are.
I mean, I
Okay,
can't remember her
hope that
name.
I hope the guy's okay. I mean, obviously something's going on. If you wake up one morning and decide that something you've done your whole life and you're pretty good at, just not
Well,
into,
well,
maybe that's when you become a
well-
professional, when you hate doing what you're doing.
Carol K is number 5. Holy shit. 50.
Nice.
No, Kev. I mean, listen. I don't know. So yeah, something might be going on, but I didn't read it as like, oh, something's wrong with him or he's going through some shit. It seemed like he just fucking, was done. Like I know lots of people. You don't even know, right? Because all right, here's the thing. In the fucking like public persona, like out there on TV and in movies and everything, it's like, oh, you have a stable job and a wife and a car and kids and everything. You just follow the track. But I can't tell you how many people I know in my life that just like wake up one day and like, I don't know what it is, a midlife crisis or a switch, and they like just quit their career of 15, 20 years or fucking move across the country, or you know what I mean? Like humans, I don't think are programmed to have that singular, that singular path, right? I don't know if he has anything going on, but I could totally imagine just being like, yeah, I'm done with this chapter, gonna do something else, right?
I mean, it's got to, and it's got to, unless I mean, yeah, and I think I'm impressed with the guys that don't get the burnout and can keep playing, because I mean, that's what's so impressive. Like we talk about with Fish, though, coming back and always, granted, you may not like the new albums, you may not like this stuff, but at least they're creative and creating and keeping it fresh and trying to do it for like keeping themselves motivated and doing it. Because I can see, like if you're some of these bands too that still playing the hits that you had 30, 40 years ago on the road every night and doing it, it's got to kind of get to a point where you're like, all right, like, yes,
Right.
I'd rather go do something else for a
Would
while.
you ever hear that in an interview? Like we talk to lots of musicians. Kev talks to all sorts of fucking musicians. Nobody's gonna come on the show and be like, "Yeah, I fucking hate it, but I do it for the paycheck." Right? Like they're always like, "Oh, I love the music and all
Well,
this."
no,
there
but
has
Tim, I
to be
think-
them that like there has to be musicians that are just like
I-
after
I've
30
had
years they
musicians-
fucking hate it.
I think when they get to that point, though, Tim, that's when they do call it and like
Yeah.
decide that it's not worth the paycheck anymore, and I don't want to travel. I don't want to like get on
I-
a bus.
Grind.
I've got
Yeah.
two guys, a guy named Jimmy Montague, who told me he wishes he could only do release studio stuff and not have to tour. And Alan Evans from Soul Live told me once that he decided he no longer wanted to play drums with bands live and he just wanted to do his studio stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I can totally see that. I mean, you hear it all the time with guys in bands and why one guy will leave or whatever. I mean, I totally get that. Yeah, I mean, plus being in that, like how bands always work anyway, and like four guys, like there's always going to be different creative
Mhm.
differences. Like that's tough. So I can see it's impressive if you
Unless
can
you're
go on.
Fish, where you're like, whatever Trey wants to do.
Bands and musicians, it's a special kind of thing too, because there's a vulnerability. Sorry, I'm all over the place with my enunciation. There's a vulnerability, especially like with improvisational music, but music in general, right? You're trusting each other, you're out on a limb, you're relying on each other. There's egos, right? There's the judgment, and I just feel like even not in the public eye, just like in a private life, in my experience, it can be a lot of emotions over the years, right? And then put that in front of people and under a spotlight, it has to be extremely taxing, like emotionally, mentally, physically. You know,
Yes. Can
it's
I
like
can
it's
I
something
call,
with. Oh yeah, fine.
can I mention this? Because
I
it goes
guess.
to what you're saying. Did you see the videos of Frankie Valli, either of you?
Yeah.
The guy's like 90 something. They wheel him out on stage.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what's going on. And I'm just like, it's his management and his family just pushing him out there every night, and it's very
Well, then he released
very
a statement
sad.
after that saying that he does what, like, it's not them doing it, and like it sounded either like very like captive, like like release the statement, like say you're doing fine, blink twice, and like type thing. But who knows?
Tell them you're not under duress. Do it
Right,
now.
exactly.
Oh,
You
man.
want to be doing
Exactly.
this.
I felt so bad looking at him. I was like, this dude should be like laying on a couch somewhere,
And hasn't he earned
Cashing
that? I mean,
a check.
unless you really, really, really like Bob Weir and want to just keep going and your goal is to like die on stage and play till that moment, then I get that. But like some of these other guys, wouldn't you like to go down to a beach house and relax and just live your days in the sun and go like
You
I
don't know
mean
anything else. I often wonder with musicians, like if they get off the road, do they just die? Is it like that kind of thing that
I
you
feel like
sold
it
your
is
soul
though.
to
I
the
feel like
devil and you just gotta
that's
keep-
probably part of Bobby's thing is like if I stop doing this,
it's
what do I do?
inertia, right?
Yeah,
You
like
gotta keep
then
it.
it just runs out the gas. Then what do I die? Like and so it's like yeah, keep playing.
I also
So
think there's part of it. I was talking to somebody about this with Biden. Like, they're all pissed. They're like, "How did you not do it sooner?" And like, I'm not trying to make excuses, but like, I know a couple of old people that literally sneaks up on him, and it seems crazy from the outside, like it's so obvious. But when you're the person, I have my mother-in-law's kind of like, you don't realize how old you're getting.
Mother-in-law.
yeah,
I hope he's not watching, but like, you don't realize how old you're getting until it's like obvious. You're like, oh fuck, and like I don't know if Frankie Valli was like that, but like he might have been like rolled out on stage and be like, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't be doing this anymore.
yeah. I mean, but that kind of goes with it too, though. Does that help you? Like if he can remember the lyrics still and sing the songs, that's pretty impressive. You know what I mean?
Didn't
Because
Rhinestone Cowboy, Glenn Campbell went on one last tour while he had Alzheimer's, and he made it through the shows.
and that's what's good though. I mean, like if they can remember those things in those moments, that's impressive. And that's probably part of it too, is it keeps their brain active and doing those kinds of things. Because if they don't and they're just sitting around, then yes, to Tim's point, they just sort of talk nonsense, like, you know what I mean? Like repeat themselves and like get in that stage. So yeah, I mean, it's tough for sure. Either way,
tough.
hand over the car keys. Exactly. Like how many, yes, when you get to that phase of having to talk to your parents or your grandparents about that, that's always tough because they don't want to, and they don't realize it, and they don't want to admit that you're in that.
You're taking away their freedom.
Right.
I know my
exactly.
grandmother apologized profusely to me every time I picked her up to take her to the store that she would have her license back soon. And I was like, it's cool. I was like,
Yeah.
I'll pick you up.
Right.
Oh, Dave, I got rid of the list.
I had to. And the funny thing is I had to drive over there in my car and then use her car to take her to the
To
store.
take her to the store.
Her Buick. She had a Buick.
Skylark.
Yes.
Did you guys see this Soul Shine benefit they got lined up at MSG?
I did.
So wait, no Jimmy Page with Robert Randolph?
Yeah,
That's
Robert
all I've
Randolph
read.
was on.
Damn it.
Something. He was on a roll. He's like, I was at the game. I thought they told me Jimmy Page.
All right, I'll pull it back up. He wants me to pull up the base list.
I will say, hey, while you're doing that, I want to give a shout out though. You mentioned Carol Kay, and I've been doing a lot of research on this subject, and I was blown away about how innovative and how much she played and her whole story. Holy crap. If you have the time, just Google Wikipedia her, look her up, and you will be surprised at the songs that not only she played on, but the songs that she like had a major part in creating, like with Brian Wilson and the Beach Boys. Some of the most iconic sounds of music came from her, and she has some great little YouTube bits about, especially when she started, was it hard being a female? Like Kev, we always talk about, was it hard being a female in an all male band? And she was like, no, I was always kind of treated like one of the guys. And she's like, music is music. It doesn't matter if you are a guy or not. And if you're good at it, they respect you for it. And she's like, I'd always just kind of let my playing do the talking. And, and then the thing would be, so many people would say to her, oh, I thought a man did that, and it's just the way it is. Like you think about some of that stuff. And when you hear her talk and some of the songs she's done, I'm always like, wait a minute. I thought a guy did that, and it's so bad to say, but it's so true because you don't really realize who is behind the music, and it's fascinating. So I just wanted to throw that out there if you're interested.
I had the opposite experience. There's some like Malcolm or whatever. There's some guy that sings
Macklemore.
And he has like a really high pitched voice, and my wife always would listen to it, and I'd be like, "Who is that? She has a really beautiful voice." And then they'd be like, "Oh, that's a dude." Like, oh, really?
I've heard that. Oh, here, this one. Someone told me that Dave had a show at Madison Square Garden anyway he was going to be doing, and they just turned it into this.
Can I ask you guys a quick question about that, real
Yeah.
quick? And I don't want to get too off topic, but I'm interested in your opinion, especially because
I
how
didn't
much
even
we
want to have a set list tonight, so fuck it, let's go.
how much we talk about, you know, what's happened with like artists these days. Like there's no Dylan and there's nobody standing up to politics and nobody like doing whatever. And
Maybe
Jimmy
Tay-Tay.
Dolan, who owns MSG and all that crap, they're saying gave Trump MSG for free or cut a deal with Trump to let him use it. And he's a very big Trump supporter and all of this stuff.
Yeah, sure.
Like, wouldn't you like, to me though, and we don't do this anymore in boycott shit, but if you had somebody like that, and obviously it's MSG, it's the biggest fucking stage in the world, so it's hard to like shut it down or whatever, but doesn't it just infuriate you that like everyone's just cool with it? They're like, oh yeah, it's cool, like that's
Yeah.
fine, you know, we want to play MSG because it's in our backyard and we'll make a ton of money and this and that. There's no standard of like, well,
Yeah,
you
but
know what?
people sign
Fuck this guy.
contracts. I mean, Fish the other New Year's, remember they signed a contract to play the
Yeah, it was
next
multiple
15 New
years.
Years?
Right. But what I'm saying is,
Oh, he's
like,
saying the
at what
people.
point do you like? We've gotten to a point where everything is just like cool. Like, okay, well,
Trey's
that guy's
not
an
giving
asshole.
up
No,
his
it-
pass
but-
to the back door that he can go anytime he wants.
Of
He isn't
course.
The
giving up.
problem is very clearly there's too much shit to be outraged about because there's too much fucked up shit that has become normalized, and we're tired. It's hard. Like it's a shitty excuse, but it's fucking hard every day to express all the fucked up shit because you need to kind of rely on
Yeah.
some common sense and people just being decent. And when a portion of the country, Kev got mad at me for saying half, but when a portion of a country has given up on logical thought and fucking decency, you can't just police that. So you just go with it.
They've always. I think that portion of the country has always existed. I went to high school with them.
No. Yeah, maybe. All right.
It
Maybe it always
existed
existed, but never to this level, this commonplace and this accepted.
and
It
never
was
had
in the shadows and in
right.
closed doors
They've
and
never
hushed
had their
voices.
voice heard and like had somebody that like wants them to come out of the shadows and be like, hey, you
Well,
know what?
that's true.
Yes,
That's
your
true.
opinion is valid here, and like do this. And that's what I'm saying.
Not
about,
only
like,
is it okay and acceptable, but we're gonna lift you the fuck up and make you
Yeah.
our leader. All hail the cult, you know, like it's not even
Right.
that you can get away with
this
saying
show at Madison
no,
Square
shut
Garden
the fuck
now.
up, Kev. We're talking about it. See, you know what, Dolan, though? It wasn't the Trump thing. It was the fucking the AI and the video looking
Right.
and the surveillance.
right.
But that's another example.
Yeah.
People are all upset about it, and there was an outrage, and then Fish is like, "Oh, we're going to the," and they're like, "Oh yeah, let's
Yeah,
go."
it was like, oh,
TV."
sweet. Yeah, I don't mind. Like, show my face. Yeah, I don't care. Like, and then meanwhile, people are like, oh my God, they want to like bug your phones or like put little sensors and blah, blah, blah. And you're like, yeah, well, every time you go to
They
MSG,
want
your
to bug
face
your
is-
phones, or they already have.
They already
well, that's just
have.
it. They already have it. Like, but people freak out. Like, it's just, yeah. And Tim, that's exactly it though. Like, there's no, everything, the goalposts always move because we always find something worse or something more outrageous or something to be more outraged with tomorrow. Like it's
Yeah.
like literally like it just keeps changing. So you're like, yeah, that guy's a scumbag. But you
But
know what? Like,
we cannot, Kev. We're gonna go back to social, but we cannot give up though. That is my thing. We can be tired. We can take days off, but you cannot give up and let that shit happen because that is when shit goes really bad. You have to fight the good fight. You have to speak up, and you can't give up because we cannot let fucking indecency and this bullshit destroy our country. All right, Soul
Hear ya.
Shine. Kev, it's so funny because Kev's like the fucking outspoken anarchist that's always like "fuck the man," and you talk you got a little bit political. And he's like, "Oh no,
no.
ah!"
Kev's the guy though that like throws the bomb out there and then runs away. Like he'll be
He's
like,
like,
oh yeah, but you know what? Like this guy did this and throws the grenade and is like, go discuss. I'll be back here.
And then at the end, he's like, "Well, that went bad. What were you guys talking about?" It's like, "You motherfucker."
Yeah, I can't let things go. I'm still mad at Biden over Anita Hill. So,
Just save it for a fucking week.
so
Jesus.
there was a really funny meme put out, Clash of the Rail Riders, about the fact that Goose and Dave Matthews were both playing at this Madison Square Garden thing, and I was like, that's pretty funny. But Goose is
Mike-
playing early, and Dave Matthews is headlining, and Warren's going to be in between them.
Mike, we
Yeah,
talked
Trey's
about
gonna be out
we
there. It's a
talked
great
about
lineup.
we talked about that backstage, Mike, about Kev's political views and how he tries to like keep them hidden, but everybody secretly actually knows. But he did say he talked to you about it, so that's hilarious that you posted that.
I actually, if I wasn't against going up to New York and MSG, which by the way was way before the hate rally. Like I gave up on MSG like a year ago. But if I wasn't against it, this Soulshine thing looks legit as hell.
It'll be a fun
Like,
time.
I mean, with Warren and Trey and Dave, I saw Dave and Trey at what was that, Radio City a couple years ago, Tortuga.
Yeah,
You guys remember that, the Island Benefit?
and it says Warren Haynes Band, right? Not Government Mule.
Yeah, what's that about?
Well, he's been touring this year with the Warren Haynes Band. Every few years, he has a whole set of songs. He has solo albums and stuff that, just Before the Bullets Fly is a great one from that Greg Allman covered, like that they don't do with Government Mule. So I think he takes that as a chance to do some of these other songs. Yes, John Medeski is in Warren's band this fall, so that's going to be fantastic. Medeski, there's a great keyboardist for you. Where's he on the keyboardist list?
I'm trying to get the tier list ready so we could do that in a little bit, and it's giving me some trouble, but we'll figure it out.
But
so yeah,
that's
go do Soulshine.
That's going to be a great show. There's lots of others. Gooses did another benefit down somewhere in North Carolina. I think I've seen a couple other bands throw out there that they were trying to do something to help raise some money.
J-Rad did a benefit for it. That was pretty sick. I think Halloween did something. I think that might have been like Milton or something.
Right. Did either of you get to see any of the Bob Weir incident?
No.
Bob Weir started for 2 full sets and did a recreation, the first set, second set with the drum break. And then Bobby came out after the drum break and just played the beginning of Standing on the Moon by himself as a space segment kind of thing. But Kang on Eyes of the World was really shining. He nailed the vocal on it. Nice awesome bass solo. Their bass player probably isn't on the list. But he did
you think?
He did a nice tribute to Phil. Like he did some of the licks that the licks Phil did during Eyes in like 74. So they paid some tribute to it. And the Box of Rain encore was fantastic.
Yeah. I heard Goose did what do you call that?
Broke Down and Cold Rain.
Yeah, but did they was it a joke or did they actually use the auto tune? I didn't see it, but I saw people on Twitter saying like, I don't want to hear Broke Down with auto tune or something.
And Lovely, right? And some band did Dogs in a Pile or Circles around one of them.
Joke.
Did a whole set of Grateful Dead in honor of
it was a nice touching little island of hope in a otherwise shitty despair of a month.
Right.
Hey, he even got a shout out on what was it, Sunday Night Football or Monday Night Football the other night because it was in San Francisco and like going to commercial, they were like recognized Phil Lesh, member of the Grateful Dead, this community in San Francisco, and did a nice little thing. I mean, that's when it was so worldwide. It felt like like so nationally recognized that so many people came out of the woodwork and so many bands recognized it and so many people. I mean, that just said that it again. The influence of the Dead is just so. Crazy
I had
to me.
Strange thing though, T, with when Jerry died, Fish didn't do a Dead tune. People in bands didn't go out and play Jerry tunes as tribute that night. But all these years later, when Phil dies, it's like the Grateful Dead are no longer the Grateful Dead's personal property. It's a communal thing that anybody can play the songs. And some people like did a pretty straight version and completely nailed it, like this band in Albany that did Box of Rain. They nailed it, straight version.
Well, that's what's so crazy too, is like how it's like almost like with Jerry dying, they became more powerful than they could possibly, because it then
If
in
you
death,
strike me down now,
right, exactly. In death, it actually, nothing. Everyone always says that nothing like dying to increase your record sales or like your movies or anything like that, because all of a
best
sudden
move I ever made was dying.
it's right. It's like it suddenly becomes more valuable and like, oh shit. So I can understand. What's crazy is though, 30 years later, that it's so relevant still. And it's like I said, and part of that is because Dead and Co. and they've had this whole second life and this whole other generation
No,
that they've been
Kev,
able to touch and stuff. But
hold
I
on, you
think it.
motherfucker.
I think when Jerry died, it wasn't
People weren't ready for it though, right? Like,
right, and people there weren't as many like,
You did not expect that call. Nobody expected
but
that.
there weren't
phone
as
call.
many like offshoots of the Dead, like people covering them at that time. Like to your point, like there wasn't a lot, like all of like, let's just say at that time, like the jam band scene, like the Horde tour and that kind of thing, because jam bands were just sort of coming into their own at that time. Nobody wanted to touch the Dead because they were so god tier
right.
level
We're
that you didn't.
different, right? We're different than them.
Right,
We're
you
something
didn't
different.
right, and you didn't want to infringe on that territory,
But
and then people
it's
be like,
also you don't want to be a dick. It's not just that we're like trying to stake your own claim. It's like it was the holy sanctimonious. Like it was like you don't want to fucking. It would have been. I think it would have been received insultingly or as like a shitty move to do it like 2 days after he died. Whereas
right,
now,
it's not the same. And plus, it was such
yeah,
a holy cathedral that nobody did it anyway when they were alive, right? Like nobody wanted to touch that because when they were alive, it was like I don't want to be compared to them, just like Fish. Like I don't want to be compared to them. I don't want to be. We're not a Dead cover band. We don't want to. So then it was a little different. But given the time and space now with jam bands in the scene, it's almost like you start studying that more. You start realizing what it was, and it seeps more into your, like the history books. It seeps more into the next generation, and like looking out at those things and being like, oh, we should study these guys because they're the kings of jam band. So of course they're going to influence us. And then now it's more of a tribute thing. And as SC just pointed out too, social media has a huge impact on how much the world is like kind of shrunk into a smaller,
Right, yeah.
Like that has a huge impact on it too.
and
I
actually,
think.
there's a good point too that there very well may have been bands that did something and you just didn't fucking know because you didn't know what every band did every night.
Right, and you're not getting
In
you're not getting
95, like,
bootlegs and social
right.
media and nugs and like streams of the shows and things like that. So if they did, it wasn't being tweeted out right afterwards. Like, oh shit.
So if they do Grateful Dead 60, it's just going to be Dead and Company, right?
Pretty much.
With
Pretty
Bruce
much,
Wordsby.
But that's why I wonder, Kev, though, to
With
that
Billy
point,
back,
if it
though.
becomes something that's like, the Mexico show, or like, where you just bring in different people to sit in with them and play those songs, and it's more of like a tribute with the band playing these songs than it is just them up there playing. Because I don't even know, how that would even work really with them. So
Right.
yeah.
All right. Now you can go to Albany, Kev.
The box array was great.
Box of Ring was great.
Really, I thought it was a beautiful tribute. And as I said that night on the recap after, it was like, all right, we acknowledged it. Let's move on to our thing.
Right, which I think was appropriate. Like, what, you think they were just going to play Dead all night?
No, but just the placement of it, I'm saying, as opposed to it being an encore and not acknowledging the fact that he passed right at the top,
I feel like there may have been some nerves too of like they learned it that day. I mean, not like they all knew the song, but like learned it together and like it was on everybody's mind. And Fish has been doing that a lot lately in 4.0. It's like hitting shit on the button, like on the nose right off the top, and then going into the rest, of the show.
I will say, yeah, and I think our buddy Scott Marks had a really good tweet about that, saying, it just shows how much Phil meant to them. The fact that they got the word a couple hours before the show that he had passed away and were able to come out on stage and nail Box of Rain like that and do it. Like, they probably were backstage, how they always warm up, practicing that and making sure they could hit it and then coming out and doing it. It says a lot about him and his influence on them. And it says a lot about them being able to do that, like coming out right away and playing it that night and giving you that nod and then jumping right into a Fish show, which again, the consummate professionals, like you turn it like that, you do that. It's awesome.
They're pretty good.
So you've had a few days since the shows. I'll just say what I felt. I feel like they were kind of mid compared to the rest of the year.
Sunday night, I was not able to come on. I caught some of the replay afterwards and listened to it. maybe I didn't see what you guys said either. I wanted to go back and watch, and I haven't yet. I don't know how you guys discussed Sunday's show, but I will tell you this: if Sunday was a huge letdown. We talked about this Saturday, Kev, with you saying Friday night could be the best night of the show of the run. I would say Saturday night was the peak. Like I think Saturday night peak. Sunday was a bit of a. I don't know. That I would not have been super stoked with that set list and that show personally. I know some people were, and that's awesome. And they got a huge Kill Devil Falls.
The Kill Devil Falls jam was
Yay for
phenomenal.
you. Like we got one at Dick's this year, which was out of the world too. Like yay, good Kill Devil Falls, hooray! But that's not going to save the Sunday show for me.
Someone did mention the Fuego. It was cool. It had some moments, but I felt overall, they were on such a roll with the summer, and it kind of came down from Mondegreen. Dick's, they knocked it out of the park again. Then they had this time off.
The time off, yeah.
I think you guys are just grouchy old bitchy men and can't appreciate.
Easy fluffer, easy fluffy.
We have nothing. I said
Friday,
New Year's.
Friday and Saturday were great. I really liked where Saturday got us after Friday. Kevin and I talked about that on the after show. I was
Sunday
a little
wasn't
worried,
bad though. Like it wasn't the best show I'd ever heard, but I wouldn't say it was a bad show.
I didn't say it was bad. I just said if I had
just
been
said
there,
it was bad. You said
I said if I was there, I would not have been happy with Sunday's show. That was not my kind of show. Don't say that it was bad. I just said it wasn't as good as the other nights.
See, I'm getting called out again.
Listen,
always
Kill Devil Falls and Chalk Dust were two of the best jams of the whole run.
See, Shermith, boom, right there, buddy. That's what I'm saying. I didn't say it sucked. I would tear it exactly like that. Okay, boom.
All right. I mean, I don't even disagree with you. I just want to argue.
Okay, good. I know you're all fight. You're all piss and vinegar with this election and shit.
I'm all fired up. I'm ready to fight. But no, I mean, you're right.
Guy comes back from canvassing and is ready to just.
Dude, so it's funny. I don't know if anyone else is gonna think this is funny, but I thought it was fucking adorable. I was talking to Evie before I put her to bed. I was like, "So you want to go knock on doors with me on this weekend?" And she was like, "Daddy, we're doing that tomorrow." And I was like, "Oh, because Halloween." She's like, but then how smart she is that she's like, "You're talking about getting votes," and I was like, "Oh wow, you're really smart." Yeah, she said she wanted to come out and hold my lit, and I was like, I don't know if that's the right move. I'll talk to your mom about it. But...
yeah, 6 hours would be a long time. Maybe if mom dropped her off for 20 minutes.
Yeah, for like a couple doors. Yeah, they get you,
like,
man.
Where's the snacks? Do we got snacks on this trip? What's up?
Dude, the campaign is fucking masterminds at like getting you right at your like highest anxiety and guilt point. And like, so can I put you down for a double on Saturday? And you're like, yeah, I guess you can.
You can't say no, right? Then you feel bad.
No, yeah, they got me. So this is the 10th weekend in a row that I'm going out, and they got me for a double on Saturday, a double on Sunday.
LA just scored 3 runs.
And a double on Tuesday. So I got three more days of walking up the. You know what sucks is it's mountainous out here, so it's like I don't mind doing it, but like I'm not the most healthy dude. Like my fucking shins and everything hurt like motherfucker.
Did you ask for only houses that were downhill?
Yeah, you gotta start.
They don't tell you where to start. I mean, I can figure that out, but
actually, we just need to get you like a scooter or like a bird that you can just use to like go from house to house. So you don't have to do all that. No, it's so funny
because I was talking to one of the guys that had been canvassing last time. No, 2 before that. I guess 16, and he was like, "Yeah, I just had one of those fucking motorized scooters." I was like, "That's the way to do it, just zipping around."
Totally. Like Costanza when he has the rascal in the office and like all the people chase him down because he doesn't really need it.
I heard somebody say that like once you get in, like it just becomes your thing, but it's not my thing. After Tuesday, I'm fucking not talking about politics for like at least 4 years.
Here's the thing, though. You don't actually think it's going to be over on Tuesday, right? Like we got to get.
No, but I'll shut the fuck up and leave it up to the lawyers.
It could be over if there was a Reagan 84 situation or something. It could be over that night.
Yeah,
we can hope. Like we can hope that it's over. But
I'm cautiously optimistic from what I've seen out here. Berks County, Pennsylvania, was 53% Trump last year. Or last time in 2020, and
sorry, CW.
Oh, it's all right. It was predominantly Trump flags everywhere, right? Every other house, And this time it's about 50-50 Harris and Trump flags. And honestly, even the ones that have it have like a fucking like traditional political sign. In 2020, they had like the stupid fucking flags and like it's just like chaos. But now it's just like they have like a little sign. Like it just, I don't know. Anecdotally, if this is a bellwether, I feel like she's gonna easily take Pennsylvania.
You're ringing that bell, baby.
Yeah.
So I read this thing. I read this thing today that it said that Reese's peanut butter cups are the most popular candy in the country.
Oh no, I was gonna do the fucking Halloween tier list, not the candy tier list.
No, I'm just saying it's a soft segue.
Do you want? Oh no, do you want to do the candy tier list? I could find that one.
I mean, no, we're fine with doing what we're doing. I was just saying I found that odd that was number one and M&Ms were number two.
Plain That's not odd. That is 100% accurate. Reese's is by far the superior candy. And you know what? You could tier
by far. I like that.
You could tier the Reese's and put the pumpkins as number one.
No,
the standard
peanut butter in the pumpkin.
No, it's fucking great. And then the standard cup is 2.
You went back to Jersey on us there.
The big cup is 3, and then the mini cups are 4. I mean, they're all great.
Where are the
ones with the shit in it? That's at the bottom. I hate the ones that put all that shit in there.
I love Reese's Pieces.
I love Reese's Pieces. I don't like the Reese's with Reese's Pieces in them. I think that's too much.
You know, M&M, have you ever heard the story of M&M, how they blew it with E.T.? They didn't want it to be the candy in E.T., so they went with the second best. They went with the Reese's Pieces.
Yeah, I always remember that
ever
story.
since then, it's been the first best.
I always remember that story. That's so crazy that they did that too. And then that blew up Reese's Pieces. Like, that's
we don't want any cross-marketing.
I will say that they do, like, when you go to the movies and you dump them on your popcorn, they are so much better than M&M. Like, I like the peanut butter mixed in than like just the chocolate M&Ms. Peanut M&Ms are a different story. I dig peanut M&Ms.
Yeah, I dig peanut M&Ms too.
Regular M&Ms are far inferior to peanut M&Ms.
You know what I like? I like a fresh Butterfinger, but there's a weird thing that happens to them when they're like sit in the store too long, where it like gets hard and like it's
like changes color almost, right?
Yeah,
like
and then it tastes like shit. But if you get like a brand new Butterfinger where it still kind of melts in your mouth, that shit.
But Butterfinger's down there with Almond Joy and Mounds.
No, come on. Butterfinger's so good. Like I have a
what
funny
is that crap in the middle of a Butterfinger. What is in the middle of a Butterfinger? What is
a
that?
Butterfinger? It's butter and fingers. What do you think it is?
Come on, man. It's a Butterfinger puree.
It's butter and it's baby's fingers that they crush up that they use to like drink the blood of, and then they crush up the fingers and put them in the candy bars. Duh. Everybody knows that, Kev.
Come on, man.
Basically bone meal.
I have a very strange relationship with candy because my dad's a diabetic. So growing up, like whenever his blood sugar would drop or whatever, he always had to have candy around, and his go-tos were always like Snickers and Paydays. So like I got very into Snickers and Paydays.
I like
and then
Snickers.
Once in a while,
are too crunchy, too much. Snickers
top shelf. I agree, Kev. Like frozen Snickers too, like not the ice cream Snickers, but frozen Snickers out of the freezer, so good. And like they really are
I feel like we should do a candy tier list instead of this fucking fish tier list. Like candy's a way more fun tier list.
Totally.
All right, I'm gonna look for a candy one. Should I say candy or Halloween candy?
It's from my Simpsons DVD set. And that apple is a little weird there, huh?
I was gonna say when you were really zoomed in, that's not what I thought it was. I was like, damn, Cat, this is an family show. Oh yeah, this is the one we're doing. Fuck nobody cares about fish, right? We're gonna do candy.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Give me a sec. We'll take off
People probably have more opinions about candy.
Well, I was just thinking of simpler times before we were arguing about like fascism and the fate of the country, and we could just talk about fucking candy. Can you guys see that? It's kind of small.
Yeah. We can see how it comes out, but yeah, there you go. That's better. Yeah.
Oh wait, but I didn't make this one, so this doesn't have S and everything. It's first gone, last gone, straight into the trash. Okay.
We'll
How do
get
we want to do
this? This is next. We should talk about. I can't believe. Oh my god, the hour's almost over. We didn't. I know we were going to talk about.
We can go a little bit late if you want. I don't mind.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll get to that because I did want to talk about.
There are some garbage ass candies on this list.
All
All right. Well, I'm just gonna put the Reese's at the top because
Right.
Oh,
yeah,
well.
there's a
I
lot
think
of
Kit Kat,
terrible
Kit
candy.
Kat, Kit Kat deserves to be up close.
Kit
Yeah,
Kat's
A or
good.
B.
I'd
No,
say
you know what it
top.
is. Kit Kat is not the first gone, but after the Reese's are gone, I'll be hitting up some Kit Kats for sure.
Snickers. Well, what's that first Hershey's thing? Is that white chocolate thing? Because that's garbage.
It's cookies and cream. Yeah, that is poo poo caca.
Yeah, it ain't even chocolate. I don't know why they can get away with calling that white stuff chocolate.
But milk chocolate, Hershey's milk chocolate, I actually have grown to really appreciate.
I like the almonds better, but
B, BB, 100 grand. I don't even remember. Is this like a
Ugh.
Rice Krispie chocolate?
100
Yeah,
gram were pretty good.
Those were
Caramel,
good. Yeah,
Rice
those were good.
Krispies in it.
I'm not a
Didn't it have Rice
caramel
Krispies?
guy.
I wouldn't put
though.
it A tier. I'd keep it like, yeah, it's probably down in B, maybe last gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reese's Pieces is. I'll put it behind Snickers, but I think it's up there.
It's up there. Top notch. Oh God, sweet tarts. I used to love sweet tarts as a
I get
kid,
the
man.
you know that like tart like where your
Yeah.
chips
Yeah.
get.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about it. I'm like, no.
Yep. Yep.
That's probably up here somewhere. Oh man, chat is lit. I just looked away and it's like 20 comments in.
You think it's bad that you've been watching this for a year? We've been doing this content for almost 5 years, as Kev pointed out. So
Three Musketeers.
Oh.
yeah, it's an A. I put either an A or a B. I
It's
always
too much
like
air, man. I feel ripped off. There's too much
Yeah.
air in it.
it's missing the nuts or something. Like if you just
Yeah.
like straight nougat or whatever it is, like then that's your candy. But I always feel like it's missing something.
What is this? Is
Those
anybody?
Pixie Sticks?
Oh, Pixie Sticks. Yeah.
Oh,
When
man.
I was when I was like 6, I don't know. When I was
Oh,
little,
Pixie Stick was hot when you were
Oh,
six.
was
they were
hot,
the best,
but-
man. Just on your tongue and just letting it dissolve and melt on your tongue.
but if there was like a line graph of like how much I liked them in my life, at some age at like 6 or 7, it just plummeted. No, it wasn't even like a downhill. It's just
Well, yeah,
plummeted.
once you start caring about your teeth and not rotting them out and shit, like you start to learn that you don't need to suck sugar out of
Yeah,
a
light
straw.
green. Yeah, light
Yeah, right
green. I
there.
wouldn't throw it in the garbage because I might need a boost one day.
Well, this is straight into so maybe
Put it last gone.
yeah, okay.
Nah, put it in the garbage.
No, I think it should be. It'll be the very end of last gone. So everything can go in front of that in the last gone.
What here? No, here.
All right, come on.
No,
Let's move
yeah,
through
yeah.
these. There's a
Airheads.
lot. Huh?
Airheads. I don't like. They're taffy
Garbage.
lappy.
That's
Is that
garbage
taffy?
candy, man.
Yeah,
Oh,
Bit
hell
of
Jolly
honey.
Ranchers? Are these Jolly
No,
Ranchers?
those are
No,
Bit
those
of
are
Honeys.
bubblegum.
bit of honeys.
I don't know
A
that.
Bit
That
of
must be
Honey
your
is-
1940s candy for you fuckers.
Totally. I don't think they're. I don't. Do they even make it anymore? Still, I haven't
They
seen a
do,
bit of
but
honey.
I mean, my thing is it's garbage because of the teeth thing. Like,
Yeah, it's
6
too
weeks
chewy
later,
and
you're
it just
still
pulls your
picking it
fillings
out.
out. It just rips your fillings
Yeah.
out. Straight in the trash. Yep.
Trash.
Crunch? I like
Crunch
Crunch.
is
A.
last.
Yeah, I think that's right up there with Kit Kat.
Yeah.
Oh,
A tier.
really? You
Love
like the
Crunch.
rice? You like
Yeah.
the Rice Krispies?
I like the Crunch. Fuck
Yeah.
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 This is another one of these old guy candies, right?
I hate that shit. That shit is like, I don't know what these are. They're so bad. Yeah. Those are so bad. Ugh.
Sour Patch. I feel like they go with the Pixie Sticks.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could be in front of the Pixie Sticks. Although, yeah, I mean, they're good if you have like 2 or 3. You can't eat a whole bag without feeling like absolute.
All right, we'll put them at the front of the last
Trash.
one. I mean, that's honest. They probably
Only if
are
they
right
have
by
THC.
Sweet Tarts.
Only if they have THC, or am I eating those things?
Or like or a little liquid acid on them.
Right.
Yeah. Nerds are. I actually like nerds a little bit.
Oh, nerds
personally.
are. Yeah, they're
Front
at
of the
least.
B. Yeah, front of
Yeah.
the, like right after Hershey's. Like
Yeah, right
there.
after Hershey's.
Yeah, right after
Hershey's might go up to A. I'm not
It,
gonna
yeah, it
lie.
might have to.
Oh
just for
man,
classicness.
you know they should have put all the good and plenties and the hot
Ugh.
tamales and the Mike and Ike's all as one thing because they're basically
No,
Well, we will.
no,
We can do
I
that.
like hot tamales are good. Good and plenties are trash.
Yeah, I agree. I
because
hate
you don't
this
like
kind of candy.
licorice. Oh, you don't like
Trash.
the
I
licorice.
love like Twizzlers. Twizzlers are at least
Twizzlers
a
are not
B.
licorice. There's some cherry weirdness.
Okay, the licorice knockoffs.
Wait,
Then you
so
can put- yeah,
put
you can
hot
put it at the end of
tamales
B.
next to the good and plenties.
Yeah, sure.
I
No,
don't like
I like hot tamales.
Hot
I don't
tamales are good.
know.
Yeah, there
I'd
you go.
probably eat
That
them.
works.
Dots are crap.
Man, we are really committed to this, but it's like, fuck, there's a lot of candy.
There's a lot of
here.
candy. I know. M&M's A tier, B tier, A tier.
Well, I put them A tier, but I'm putting Hershey's as an A tier.
Yeah, there you go. That works.
Yeah, because Hershey's and M&M's are way better than these. I feel like.
I agree. You're
What
right.
the fuck is this? Is this just bubble gum?
I
Garbage.
think so. Yeah, it is gum.
Garbage on Halloween.
Yeah.
Like if you get that on Halloween, like what the fuck? Like it's fine if you want bubble gum, but like for Halloween candy, come on, get out of here.
Yeah, I agree.
Andes.
I think those are mints.
That's what you
Fuck
get at
that.
the restaurant when you pay your
Yeah.
bill.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh,
It comes with your check.
Runts.
People
Yeah,
I
like
always
to
got
rip
really
off the
disappointed
nerds.
when I got any of these types of candy.
Yeah,
You're a
runts.
rip
Yeah.
off of nerds.
Laffy Taffy, that's kind of the same as Airheads. It's like
Yep. See, now some of these as Halloween candy suck, but some of these are great at the pool. When like I was a kid, some of these things that the snack shack would sell at the pool, loved. Like Laffy Taffy was one of those that reminds me so much of like the pool. No, don't put it up there. It can go in the trash. Trust,
Okay.
like it's fine. I don't need it
I
now.
have these next three. I have a crazy nostalgia thing for my grandparents' house. They always had
I was
these-
gonna say.
these three candies at my grandparents. That
Don't
was like
forget- I was gonna say these are like the grandparents. Hershey Kisses though are still legit.
I
Like
like
Hershey
Christmas
Kisses,
time.
I would go B. Even.
Yeah. A or
High
B. Yeah.
B.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Those
Those
other
other
things are
two.
garbage, man. Those strawberry things they're like
Aren't
didn't
they
they have like a
cough
little
drops?
liquid in the middle? They had that like weird liquidy
Yeah,
substance in the
yeah.
middle of them.
Yeah. Yep.
all right, but they're on this
All right,
end of the
be
garbage.
There you
nostalgic
go.
and
Okay.
put them where you want.
No,
Same-
it's,
Mike and I, same thing. Yeah, well, I think one of those is good. The other one I can't stand. Like it's either the Mike or
just
the
go
Ike
next to
that I
the good
actually
and
like.
plenty. I feel like these are all the same, but
They are
Yep.
all the same.
Almond Joy. Okay, is this the one with the coconut?
Almond
Yes.
Joy's got nuts. No, Almond Joy.
No,
how's the
Joy
song
has
go?
coconut. Almond Joy has
Sometimes you
almond.
feel like a nut. Sometimes you
Sometimes
don't.
you don't.
I like the one without coconut, the one that has the
like the-
almonds.
It
Yeah.
has coconut though, and it's garbage.
Oh, well then fuck that.
There you
I
go.
wouldn't even have picked it out of the thing if I had a
There's
choice.
a lot of shitty candy out there.
I would have
Yes,
taken the
there is.
Airheads before I took that.
Baby Ruth. I like.
Those are either an A tier. I love Baby
Yeah,
Ruths. They're like
I
a
like Baby
Snickers.
Ruth.
They're
They're
like
a teeth killer too, though.
They are, but they're like a
They're
junior
all
Snickers.
teeth. We have a dentist in the chat. We asked
have a
him which are
dentist.
the worst.
All right, tell us what's the worst candy.
Caramel
what's that?
apple pops.
Nope. I don't even know
what
what that is. If I got that for Halloween, I'd be pissed.
Yeah, I've had these on Halloween. I don't know what they're called, but I don't like them.
No.
Mr. Goodbar.
A,
Oh,
first
A,
first gone.
definitely.
First gone. I love those.
Yeah.
First gone. Okay, right at the
Definitely.
front or last. Of
Yeah.
first
I'm gonna
gone.
put it right next to. I'll probably
Okay.
put somewhere here.
They're so good. I love.
I mean,
I
it's so
love a good
superior
bar.
to Crunch. If you're gonna have a Crunch, make it a nut, not a.
Well, that's
rind.
just it. That and it's superior to Hershey's because it has the nuts. It's like the M&Ms with the peanut in it. Like you put that in it, it elevates it.
I love seeing what candies people are coming to bat for. Like Savvy's all about the kisses. Actually, for Evie, my kid, the Hershey Kisses is the first gone. That's like
Perfect.
just
But
straight
it's a
pure
perfect size
chocolate.
for her, right?
Yeah, it's a perfect bite size. It's not too much. She doesn't like any filling and shit.
I agree, Mike. I have this one as like right
All right,
behind.
all
Hershey
right, I'll give it
Kisses.
to you.
All
I'll
right,
give it to
yeah, we lobbied for it. Yeah, there we
Gum.
I am
garbage.
nothing if not fair.
Man, Swedish fish. I have an odd relationship with. I'd probably
That-
eat it last.
Yeah, the gum too. The gum, that's like what you get at the barbershop. That exact gum when I used to go
Yeah.
as a kid in the barbershop.
you know what's
Swedish fish,
weird?
ugh.
This gum, shit. Put that gum inside of a lollipop. Okay, like it's a little bit better. Actually,
Okay.
and if you're at and then if you're at a fish show, I don't
Right.
remember who it was, but somebody was giving out blow pops at set break, and it's fucking perfect. You got like cotton mouth or whatever, and you're just like sucking on a yeah.
Yep.
So
yep,
all right.
Oh, those things are cool when you're at a show. And you need
Fireballs?
something to like wake your mouth up.
I haven't had one of these since the 90s.
cotton
Yeah, I
mouth.
haven't had. I don't even know last time I had a Fireball. That's
The
like
cottonmouth killer.
I was really into them.
I would hold one to them just because they would go on my desk. You know.
Yeah. Jolly Ranchers I used to love, but again, that's another one. Oh wait, these aren't Jolly Ranchers. These are Jolly Ranchers. What the fuck are these?
I don't know.
Happy-
Garbage.
Oh, Tootsie Rolls.
Those are
Oh,
Tootsie
Well,
Rolls?
they're
Oh, no,
the
these are
flavored
Tootsie
Tootsie
Rolls.
Rolls. I mean, if you're gonna do a Tootsie Roll, do the original chocolate, not
All right, let's
apple
do Tootsie Rolls
flavor.
since we're talking about them. Where do Tootsie Rolls go?
last.
Last
Last
I
one.
can't throw a
Yeah.
Tootsie Roll away. Because when you're Jones and when you're coming down from eating all the candy bars, you want something.
Yeah, was it you and I that bought Tootsie Rolls at Target in Denver that one time? What were you trying to put in the Tootsie Rolls?
Oh, I was trying to bring home edibles that I bought that were chocolate. So
You wrapped
took
them up in the Tootsie Roll wrappers. Oh, the
next
weird
three.
memories you have.
I don't even know. Like the Fun Dips,
Yeah,
no.
trash.
Trash. I even the
Trash.
Gushers. Yeah.
I don't like Tootsie Pops either.
No. Because those are weird that they have like the chocolate inside of the like tasty candy outside.
Yeah,
That always weirded
agreed.
me out.
Agreed. I hate it.
And you never know how many
Roll-ups.
licks.
Roll-ups
Right.
are okay. Roll-ups are maybe, although for Halloween they kind of
Yeah,
suck.
fruit
Yeah,
roll-up
for
is a
Halloween.
smack in the face for Halloween. Come on, that's lunch. Your mom gets that in
Wait,
lunch.
there's another Werther's. I feel like this list has a lot of
repeats. It has like every brand kind.
gummy bears.
Trash.
We're running out of trash rooms, guys. Gushers. I'm gonna put
that
it up.
one, Gusher trash.
Yeah, but they squirt in your mouth.
Right.
If
you want
Tim
something,
likes that.
I like that.
I am not into heat bars again because they're just so.
The
they're
toffee
right
though,
in.
I don't know. You can put them up there with like $100,000 or something because I don't hate them, but they're not my favorite. But they're not bad. I don't know. Last gone. Yeah,
I like the soft toffee, not the hard toffee.
There you go. Anywhere in there. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Butterfinger, I'd say
Yep.
is
A.
right here.
End
You
of
guys
A.
go ahead with your Butterfinger.
Lemon heads are probably down here, right?
Yeah.
That's another good show candy.
Yeah.
Make you pucker.
Yeah, but that's kind of like.
But it's
All
a
right,
tough Halloween candy. Like, are
I'll
you
put 'em
excited
there.
to get small boxes of lemon heads? Nah.
Jolly Ranchers.
I'm not a Jolly Rancher guy.
Me either.
Especially
Fuck
not
your teeth
watermelon.
up. No.
And they're always
watermelon.
weird, I feel like, on Halloween. They're
And they
usually
melt
like
and
melted and like, they're never great on Halloween. So straight in the
fuck
trash for
Dude,
Halloween.
fuck Jolly Ranchers.
Do you know that's
Exactly,
another
yes, Dr. Dave. What is that stuff in the middle of Butterfingers?
Goodness.
Junior mints are straight fire, not on Halloween. I agree. Like movie theaters and yes, but Halloween.
That same thing as
candy?
like Raisinets. I fucking love Raisinets at like movies and shit, but I would be disappointed at it's
All right, here we
nougat.
go. The last row. Finally.
I would not do a candy ring myself, but
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I
No.
agree.
Kids like that shit though. Payday, that's
Yes.
kind of like
Yep.
up here, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
Either top of the B tier. Yeah, there you go.
Toblerone.
Oh, that's like fancy, isn't it? Yo, put it on the last out.
There you go.
I want to keep it kind of balanced.
Peanut M&Ms. Peanut M&Ms. Yeah.
First
A tier.
count.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, after the Reese's and Snickers are gone, the peanut M&Ms are going.
Yep.
Mamba. Mamba? Mamba Jamba? Mamba
I don't
Jamba?
know.
Baby Jima.
I don't know. what that is.
Trash. If it'll fit in there. Yeah,
I
there
do
you
not like Milk Duds, but I
I'm
will
trash on
respect
Milk
you guys.
Duds too.
Okay,
but
good. I was like, I'll respect you guys if you convince me, but I am not high on them.
go.
Milky Way is okay. I feel like that's up. It's like
Yeah,
it's like a B-list Snickers. It's like a
right.
It's like Snickers without the stuff, though. Again, it's like missing something.
Yeah, it's like
it's
Three
like the Three
Musketeers.
Musketeers. Right.
right. These two belong next to each other.
Right. Right.
Now and later, that's like a shitty Starburst, right?
Starburst. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I guess is kind of by this.
Dude, an apple? Are you kidding me?
I don't know.
Then
what
I got to
that
go
is.
home and like run an X-ray on it.
That's what dentists hand out. That and toothbrushes are what always the dentists in my neighborhoods would hand out. And you're like, thanks.
There's a lot of shit out here. Raisinets
That's
are good
crap.
for
Crap. The rest
movies,
of that's
but
crap. Come on.
toothbrushes. Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna just put that in here. That's
Yeah.
that's a joke. That's the creator just being like, yeah.
Skittles. I mean, I like a
don't hate
rainbow
Skittles.
fruit flavor
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Skittles are fine. I like Skittles.
Yeah.
He's good.
Yeah, they're probably a little better than Nerds and a little less than Kisses.
Yeah.
Smarties, oh god, that's with the pixie sticks. I loved them until I didn't, and then I
Right.
really didn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Starburst goes above the Now and Later.
Yeah.
Maybe here because they're good at shows.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. Sugar Daddy?
Sugar daddies.
Oh, it's caramel.
Oh,
just-
look, it
oh.
like expands out. That's nice.
Yeah.
Oh god, candy
That-
corn straight in the
that-
trash.
If somebody does that, they really hate you.
Yuck.
They're
Ugh.
That's
basically
worse
saying,
than
"Don't come back
toothbrushes."
next year."
Yuck. At
I-
we were
I don't love Twix, but I feel like it's a reputable
Oh,
like
Twix is a B, yeah.
yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
I'm not a huge caramel guy.
okay.
But are you right or left?
Right
Twix.
Twix or left Twix.
Oh. I thought you were trying to bring me back into
I'm like,
politics.
what? What?
I was
Politics?
like, what the fuck you said?
They actually ditched that ad campaign because
Do you know what I
things
learned
became so
today?
divided in the world.
The right wing and left wing comes from revolutionary France, where the right wing party supported the monarch and would sit on the right hand of the king, and the left wing was the progressive party that favored revolution and would sit on the left side of the king. And
What's that green thing?
what? Warheads. You don't want my history lesson? My history lesson?
Fascinating.
Fascinating. Absolutely
fascinating.
fascinating.
I liked Warheads a lot when I was a
Kid.
younger guy. but
Garbage.
yeah, pretty garbagey. Whoppers are,
They're good until they're not.
yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say low B, maybe high
I
last gone.
see. Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go. High last gone.
Because
there
I
you go.
will eat them. Oh,
Yeah,
man, I
I
have
mean,
a love hate because you eat the first.
I'll
bite
eat
of
any
a
of
York
this
is
shit if
good.
I'm high enough.
The first bite of a York is good, but by the time you get to the end of it, you're just like, my God, that was way too much York.
Well, that's why you need the small ones. When they came out with the smaller versions, not the big pucks, but the smaller ones, those were good. And if you have them frozen, delicious.
Yorks?
Yeah, the
I zoned out. What the fuck did you guys say? Where does this go?
Yorks.
No, where does it go?
Front of last gone, probably.
All right.
And I don't even know.
And
the
the
zeros.
last one. What is the
Ugh.
last one?
Crap.
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 There we go. There you
There we
have
go. Look at that.
Hey.
Yay. That was a lot of candy.
I hope that was worth it.
Hell yeah. Look at Reese's Snickers, Reese's Pieces, Mr. Goodbar, and M&M's. That's totally top
And
tier.
as for Fish Halloween, I only saw one because I blew off going to the first one because it was snowing. I was like, hey, they aren't going to do this show. It's a blizzard.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to do this.
Oh, we're not going to tier them. Let's just talk
Oh.
about it for a second. Off the top of your head, what's your favorite? My favorite is the haunted house one, just because it was so interesting. It was such a neat concept.
Yeah, I can see that. I think it's so hard to like favorite them because like I loved Festival 8, like that was my favorite album. Like that's one of my favorite albums. I love the Loaded one because that's one of my favorite all-time albums too. So those two rank so high because of what they did. But then like Casvot and to your point, Thrilling Chilling were so unique and so out of the box and so creatively incredible that those deserve high accolades too and like rank near the top. Yeah, I don't know. It's really that's tough.
Remain in Light is the winner.
I was going to say that's probably the most important.
That is
probably the most important. Yes.
Out of the modern ones, I do think Thrilling Chilling is probably ekes out the top, but I think Casvot and Wingsuit are both underrated on how important they were re-injecting energy into the band.
Sci-Fi Soldiers was fun, but it was hot, and you could see the COVID dripping down the walls of the place.
If you were there, it was like, and having the fire inside, like when they did the fire,
it was
like,
weird.
It was weird.
The vibe
was
weird.
Yeah, but when you go back and listen to it now, like, and some of those songs getting played now and stuff are really, really fun and really cool.
Banger. The Howling.
Yeah.
Don't doubt me.
Yeah.
White Album.
The White Album. Dr. Dave. I'm with you. I had a bootleg CD that I bought in New York of Fish doing the
Probably
White Album.
third after Remain in Light and Loaded, and then White Album, and then Thrilling Chilling.
I mean, again, the creativity and the fun of them doing those when they did the covers was so unique and so much fun. And like, what are they gonna do? What's the cover gonna be? What's the album gonna be? And then when they bust them out and do them, it was just such a cool thing. Like, it was just so amazing.
Quadrophenia was important because it was the big arena rock thing, and then Bowie was important because of Trey's vocal styling changed after that. That coupled with, I guess, Fare Thee Well.
When he sang, what was that?
15 with Bowie.
No, but
yeah,
when he came out and he just did vocals, and you could tell he'd practiced it like really fucking. I remember that was like insanely beautiful. Like that was like moving, which is weird because I've never thought that or felt that before or since with Trey singing. But like, because didn't Bowie just die a couple months earlier?
He died January of 15.
January, yeah. But like, it was still like it felt like an emotional night.
It put the idea of the strings in his head, which came to fruition at the beat.
But that was where he really got out of his comfort zone and was a leading man, like stood on front of the stage without his guitar and sang.
Changed everything. I felt like.
I know. It really was a unique experience. And to hear them crush that album and not
5
like
years
I've talked about
is
before.
5 years is my favorite Bowie song, and I don't know why it hasn't shown up again.
Again, yeah, and that's the one thing too. I think, you know, a lot of those songs, it's sad that they don't play them anymore because that show was so. It was the most straightforward Fish I've ever seen. Like they took it so seriously and like wanted to do it so much justice. There was no jamming, there was no outside bullshit. It was just like, we're gonna nail this. You know, kind of like what they did with like Box of Rain. Like it meant something to them, right? Like Bowie had such an influence on them. It meant so much to them to like get it right and do it for real. So it was just very magical, like very cool.
As far as an influence, my buddy Paul, you guys know the guitar player, he had one day we were talking and he was telling me how they were writing Billy Breathes at the same time they learned the White Album, and how all of Lennon's guitar riffs influenced all of the songs on Billy Breathes. And if you were to draw direct, like you can hear Ziggy in like Leaves in like Modern Day, and you can hear like Loaded in some things, but like if you wanted to draw direct linear influence, there's been no other Halloween set like White Album that influenced an album.
That influence, I agree.
Steve Lillywhite coming on and doing the production, that is their Beatles album. Billy Breeze I had as my #1 Studio Fish song.
And this was definitely, Dr. Dave, this was my favorite one I've been to of all the ones I've been to, just because it wasn't in Vegas, which was nice. It was like in my backyard. It was like right after I'd been to all the Coachella, so I had Palm Springs down to a T, and that's one of my favorite albums. And having the horns and the backup singers and the fun.
That loving cup is,
man, I feel like we need to go back. We need
and
to
Kev, you know, you mentioned some of the Bowie songs. I wish they'd play Ventilator Blues again. Like it's such a great song for them, and it's
not
such
after
a cool
COVID
song, like just such a great Sigma Oasis into Ventilator Blues.
Take your mask.
I throw out there that as much as White Album affected Billy Breeze, the Remain in Light informed Ghost. I mean, it sounds like stuff off the cutting room floor from the Talking Heads sessions. Some of that Ghost album.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, the covers had influences. You know, that's why they did these cover albums. That's why they did these albums, because
we got Character Zero after Quadrophenia. We got
influences to them. So it's very, I mean,
the arena rock thing, you know.
Mike, I've been volunteering every weekend for like 4 months, man. Literally, it started in August. I got back from on degree and I started volunteering. But T and I will get together and we'll bring it back. What was that show called?
Oh, we're still waiting on T to do the interview.
No, we're not waiting on T.
Yes, we are.
Oh, T's the only one that you're waiting on. Okay, sure.
It's a very convenient excuse.
I'll talk too much about that. That's the problem. I'll go on and on. Good luck cutting it.
Yo, Mike, please keep poking, because I do want to finish that series up. It was one of my favorite things I've done or we've done, and we've been busy. It shit happens, but we'll bring it back. We have a lot of shit coming up.
We do,
hopefully. But we
next week we'll be back with our erection coverage. got it.
Election 2024. Yeah,
Election
so
2024.
we were talking about this. Next week we're going to do a show because on one hand we're not a political channel, right? And so we didn't want to spend on talking about it a lot during these shows. But on the other hand, we've always based our shows on what's going on in our lives, and this is obviously an important thing. So we are probably going to have a live stream around election day, either Tuesday or Wednesday, where we talk about it. But we'll just give the disclaimers like, listen, if this ain't your shit, then tune out. But like, I don't know. I feel like the community and like the chat and everything is a large way of how I process things and talking to these guys. It's how I get through life, and I need that. And I want to do it. I'll probably regret it, but we're gonna see what happens. So if you're interested in that shit and want to join the conversation, hang out with us. And if you don't, then that's cool too. No hard feelings.
And to round us out,
We'll
Are
set
you
a board
ready?
up. Kev,
you
Kev
don't
will
have
be
that
our,
theme song yet? Do you have a
Kev
theme
will be
song?
our
Simon?
own Steve Karnacki, giving us updates on the board and
He
everything.
has to dress like him though, with the khakis,
Right,
and like the
right.
crazy, like.
Yeah, yeah.
I do
All
not
right,
have
ready,
khakis.
Kev? I don't have a theme song. I'm just gonna go boop and hit it, and then you're gonna go. Ready?
Yep. Boop. After their successful collaboration at Neil Young's Last Benefit, Stephen Stills has recruited Graham Nash, and we're going to get SNY apparently at some point in the future.
R.I.P. Crosby.
Yeah, what can you do? I hope they. I don't know. I mean, the last CSNY album they came out was complete garbage. The songs were garbage that they wrote for it. Military madness and stuff. What the hell are you talking about, David Crosby? Go away. Smoke crack.
Kev does not like Crosby.
Can you tell?
It's like
This
tea
should
with
be
Bill
interesting.
Walton. Like you
That
Oh God, don't bring that up. People will start hating me again. How can you hate Bill Walton?
Is that the minute?
That was the
All right,
Neil Young minute.
guys.
Happy
Good
Halloween.
Go
Let us
listen
know in
to
the
some
comment
Warren
what you think of all
Zevon.
this.
Go listen
What?
to Warren Zevon, everybody.
What?
Like, subscribe, leave a comment later.
What?
We love you.
Bye.
The-
Have a safe Halloween tomorrow. And like Kev said, go vote next week. Vote. Go vote.
Go Dodgers.
Go Dodgers.
MC
Aw.
Roach.
MC Roach.